Give me some Ingram. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens as they get set to match up against the New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A short time ago, the Jets defense introduced to this crowd, and one of the biggest ovations was for the big man, Leonard Williams, as he and his mates get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win.
No, check, Patriot!
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
319!
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Gone! Here we go now. Blue landed.
On second down, Ingram breaks a tackle, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now it's Jackson. Caught right side at Snead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Leopard! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
First carry now for Kenneth Dixon, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kenneth Dixon, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by their quarterback and none other than Cam Newton.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Newton now to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Former fourth-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you'd gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
20! Herndon's got it complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Chris Herndon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Catanzaro.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Play action. Now Jackson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. He's going to go for a big play. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now look at Quincy Enunwa and the rest of the offense heading back out, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow, chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
To the air again, Newton. Forced out to his left, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half, and the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. To return it, here's Tavon Young. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And the Eagles out in front early. Deshaun Kaiser with 2 first-half touchdown passes.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. For Kenner here, it's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton being chased out left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Newton. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Jackson to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Jackson will throw again. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Airing one out for Crowder. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. Dancing to his left. Going deep for Montgomery. That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. And Newton's going to keep it. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Cam Newton as time expires in the first half. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own, Or maybe the analytics coach got involved. And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in there on the final play of the first half.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. A couple of touchdowns there for Darius Geis. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. John Brown, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Deshaun Kaiser, a couple of touchdown passes. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Play action. It's Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good headed scheme going.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to get something going with Ty Montgomery. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got a moonwalk. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
20.
2nd and 10. Newton again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing is Newton. Flushed out right. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Throwing again is Newton. Steps away to his... Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. And this Jet offense starting to run away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
You got to feel a little bit for the defense there. They've done a terrific job all day long holding this guy in check. But that might have been the run to break things out for him, maybe turn things around. Now he's going to have some confidence, and maybe he'll get to his normal yardage.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
20.
On second down, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He's to the 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he's standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue Niner.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now Jackson, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And avoids the contact by sliding. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now it's Jackson. Roberts with it over the middle. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now Jackson on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Newton. the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jets, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile,